This might be one of the best weekend hikes in England, but it turned out to be a lot tougher than expected. Over 3 days we took on just over 30 miles across the Yorkshire countryside, with constant climbs, change in weather and some seriously challenging sections. We also had to contend with Storm David. Things got pretty rough, but the entire experience was completely worth it. This is the Hambleton Hobble.
Hello and welcome back. This is Kerry from Drunk on Wanderlust. First thing I'm going to say is a very happy Easter to everybody. It's Easter weekend and I've been desperate to get back out and do my first wild camp for 2026. So we've travelled all the way up to Yorkshire. We're currently here in Osmotherley, about to start a new trail. Let's take a look at the map.
The Hambleton Hobble is a challenging 30-mile loop trail in the North Yorkshire moors, starting and ending in Osmotherley. It's known as a strenuous test of stamina. It features a whopping 1,575 metres of elevation and is typically completed over 2 to 3 days. We stayed the night before at Coat Gill Mill and arranged to leave the car for the weekend.
What are you doing, Carrie?
I'm trying to shove everything into this bag.
Is
I've overpacked.
So what happens?
It's the first one back in a while. I feel like a novice again. I've got so much crap. James is going to be having a birthday whilst we're out on the trail. How old are you going to be, James?
I'd like to say 25, but I'm going to be 40.
The big 40. Yeah, big happy birthday to James on Sunday, Easter Sunday.
Okay, let's make a start. We walked half a mile into Osmotherley town and took the left turn through the alley that led to the start point of the trail. You can find the GPS map route on the Hiker app, which is free to download.
Tight fit.
Getting fat.
I'm getting fat.
Come on then, let's meet my band of merry men.
So who have we got? We've got Original Steve. We've got Dom the Don. We've got Big Birthday James. Woo! And we've got Daz the Man. Woo!
Once again, I was the only girl on this trail.
Already feeling it. We're doing hills, lots of hills. One after another. I think this whole route is going to be like this. And with the weight of this pack, it's getting used to it again. Not used to it.
We weighed our bags just before we left, and mine was 13 kilograms, which is a vast improvement from when I first started hiking long distance trails, but I had definitely still overpacked a lot of luxury items.
Newest member of the hiking club. James, you're the chicken whisperer. Oh, the chickens. Wow. I've got some new bits and pieces to show you today on the video. Camping bits and pieces. I'm taking, don't want to go down that route, do we? I've got a different tent. I've got a really small solo tent, just I think it's called an MSR Freelight. Now I did take it when I did the Alps last year, the Tour de Beaufortin, but I'm not sure if I showed you around it properly, so we'll have a little look at that later. What else have I got? Different sleep pad. Using my Flextail one today. New Flextail pump. Yeah, so I'll get it all out. Get out all my bits and pieces later. You can have a good look.
Already we were getting some gorgeous views of the Yorkshire countryside, and what a lovely time of the year to be out to see all the baby lambs in spring.
Okay, we've had some road walking and we are coming off the road very shortly. We're going to find a little footpath that goes off to the left and start going over the moors. More. Looking forward to that.
Evidently, I still struggle with my lefts and rights, as the footpath was definitely not on the left. This did not give my hiking club faith in my navigational skills. However, they still followed me blindly into the depths of the Yorkshire moors. Don't forget, if you'd like to join my free hiking club, you can find the details on a dedicated page in the drop-down menu of my website, officiallysmashedit.com.
Well, I had a slightly better sleep last night than I did before we did the Penny Fan Horseshoe a couple of weeks ago. I shared a room last night with Steve and Dom, and Steve didn't snore, which I was impressed by. What was your secret?
Slept on my side.
Slept on his side, which is good. Dom did snore, but only intermittently, so there was definitely some sleep had by me, which is nice to wake up feeling a little bit refreshed. I'm sure I got at least kind of 5 hours, so that's good. And we only had 4 glasses of wine each. 4, that was it. That was our limit. We cut ourselves off, didn't we, Steve?
We were
like, don't want a hangover this time. 4 is the max.
Very restrained.
Proud of ourselves.
You can't touch this. Can't touch this. My music hits me so hard, makes me say,
Oh my God!
And that's what happens when we drink too much. So we now know our limits before starting a hike.
First snack stop of the day. I'm going for a crunchy snacks, courtesy of my very gorgeous girlfriend Claire. What have you got there, Steve? I think shove it right in, why don't you? Throw it like a goat, Steve.
It's a grenade bar.
A grenade bar. What flavour?
Milk chocolate.
Delicious.
The elevation of this trail was already becoming apparent. Constant ups and downs, which was really tiring with the pack. However, we were all just so pleased to be back out in the beautiful Yorkshire countryside.
Steve's having a fiddle. What are you doing, Steve?
Adjusting my pack.
Oh, just having a little shuffle
Trying to
around.
push my trousers off.
Taking off your trousers.
Just trying to push them off. Can't have
Yeah,
that.
all your adoring fans can't wait to see that. Come on! Da da da, hoik 'em up. Da 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 da, yeah.
Fortunately, Steve was starting to get some severe pains in his back. We took a break and refilled our bottles.
Once again, we found a lone shoe on the trail, would you believe? And this time it's a very, very sexy camouflage croc with a little van badge on it.
The terrain on this section was a bit rough and unpredictable. I think everyone was starting to struggle with the weight of the packs. Luckily, we had planned a pub stop just slightly off the route further up the trail.
So we've lost our first one already. Daz is heading back. He was only joining us for the day because he has got accommodation booked for the weekend in Asmotherley. So yeah, down to just the 4 of us. We're halfway through the day. It's about 12:30. And yeah, we've done about 6.5 miles with the pack, so that's not too bad going. Quite a bit of elevation as we're going along. Let's see what's coming up next.
Now this would be a fantastic trail for anyone wanting a bit of a challenge one weekend. It would also be great for anyone who wants to train for a longer trail, as it certainly puts you through your paces. There's a complete mix of terrain which keeps it varied and interesting, fabulous scenery and plenty of places to refill your water bottles.
What do we want? Pub. When do we want it?
Now.
Now.
As you could see from the last clip, Steve had started to lean to one side as his back was really aching. He really needed a rest.
Okay, this is the point where we're coming off the trail because there is a pub that way and that's where we want to be. So we are going to Hornby, which is a 1/4 mile, so not too far out the way.
Last little push and we could all stop for a well-earned break. Of course that 1/4 mile leading up to the pub was all uphill. We were really earning those pints today.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going down, Steve?
Well, I'd like to say that if you're ever out on a trail and you're having back trouble and you get a chance to get a pint of Guinness, it's like nectar of the gods. It cures everything.
Yeah, it does. Look at those little eyes going.
Look at that. I'm
Ready for another one?
I'm ready for another one.
Yes, you are. Okay, we're tanked up and back on the road. I think we're going to try and do another few miles, try and find a decent camp spot, call it a day. Let's get crack-a-lacking, shall we? We're not pitching in the graveyard, James. What did you say?
It'll be deadly quiet.
Oh, absolutely not.
People are dying to get in there.
Oh, Steve, these are awful. Absolutely not.
Okay, now to find somewhere to camp. We had just been warned there was a named storm that would be heading our way tonight, so finding a suitable pitch would be very important. We needed some shelter to protect us from the strong winds. They were calling this one Storm David. We needed to find somewhere quickly. That storm was heading our way and we were losing daylight hours.
So, we're getting knackered now. We're trying to find a spot that's not on somebody else's property, someone's farm, and we're just going through farm after farm after farm and up some really big hills. We're all knackered. It's getting towards the end now, but I think there might be somewhere that's near a ford that we might be able to camp. Fingers crossed, pray for us, manifesting all good things, positive things.
I'd had a good look on the map to try and find a spot that would be tucked out of the way.
Steve! Steve's just camping there. He can't be bothered, can you, Steve?
Can't be bothered.
No, he thinks, sod it. If they move me on, they move me on.
Steve is knackered.
Steve is shattered.
Steve decided to use the wall as cover, whilst the three of us carried on round the corner to tuck ourselves away out of sight. We had chosen a spot slightly off the trail, away from any buildings or farm fields.
There he is in his little tent.
We had pitched just in time before the wind started to pick up. I was hoping my tiny MSR free light would hold out for the night. Wish me luck!
Good morning, party people. Wow, what a night. Well, last night we experienced Storm David that had been sweeping across the UK. I'll tell you a bit more about it when I get out of the tent because the lighting's not very good in here, but wow, it's been eventful. Sorry I didn't get to do a tent life last night. It all got a bit crazy towards the end, but I'll explain soon.
Well, that was a fun night. I think we'd better go and check on the guys.
There he is, birthday boy. How did you sleep last night?
Like sleeping next to a motorway.
It was
Non-stop.
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it?
Horrendous. But what an adventure!
What an adventure, that wind. I don't know, Storm David, that's what they're calling it, aren't they?
Yeah.
What a night indeed. Very uncomfortable, but we were relieved our tents had held and no damage had been done. I was particularly impressed with this little MSR free light. Considering it only weighs 879 grams, it really withstood that storm. I did, however, pitch it on a slope, so was sliding off my map most of the night. But what a glorious morning, the calm after the storm. Time to check on Steve.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. Just a little update. I didn't have a good night last night. My tent totally collapsed. It wouldn't stay up in the David storm winds, and I ended up just sleeping under
collapsed tent.
Just wrapped up in the material, weren't you, Steve?
I was wrapped up like a
Sausage roll.
Sausage roll. I wish, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, bless you. So here we are. It's 7:30 in the morning. I've got all my layers on, pretty much apart from one. Every single layer that I brought with me. I've still got my down jacket on. I've got about 3 or 4 coats on because it is nippy, but the sun is shining, the birds are singing, and I think it's going to be a nice clear day. Just very, very windy.
Oh, poor Steve. All he wanted was a good night's sleep after the long day yesterday. He had hiked 13 miles with over 500 metres of elevation with a 13 kilogram pack. Now at 79 years old, I'd say that's bloody good going.
Well, it is Easter. Of course, I've got an Easter egg, Cadbury's cream egg. But my question is, how do you eat yours? Let's find out how the group eat theirs, shall we? How do you eat your cream egg, James?
Wouldn't everybody like to know?
Always
Not
keeping that very
like a
guarded.
good lick out, is there?
Oh, and Dom's actually going to do a demonstration. Lovely.
With the
Oh, he's got a white one.
white chocolate egg.
Posh.
Not being racist or anything.
No, not racist. Go on then, let's get a close-up. So it just smashes into it.
You animal.
Absolute animal. There is an overpowering smell of garlic. There's wild garlic growing everywhere. I hate garlic, so this is not the most pleasant of sections for me to walk through. Luckily, where we camped last night, it didn't smell of it, but just before it was really, really overpowering, and I was like, no, we cannot be pitching around here, not with that smell. Blech. See, Dom
I was eating them last night when I waited for me water.
is the king of sweets, snacks. What do we have today? Squashy love hearts.
Get ready.
Oh,
He's turning into a bit of an old romantic.
thank you. Oh, look at this
Smile.
Smile. Happy Easter. And yes,
Don't like one, love.
let's do it. These are really good. I'm going to give them a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Would recommend to a friend. Mwah, bellissimo.
Onwards, come on, let's do it.
We've joined back up with the Cleveland Way. I remember this bit from last time, these nice little steppy stones. Oh, all the memories, nice memories.
It was James's birthday, and we had seen on the map the next pub was in Scorton, less than 4 miles away. Our plan was to stop there for a nice Sunday lunch and break up the day. Steve was still slightly on the wonk. His back hadn't recovered from yesterday and was still giving him grief. I checked Google and got some bad news.
I still can't believe the pub that we're coming up to in about a mile isn't open on Easter Sunday or Easter Monday, would you believe? So it was the only place that we were going to be able to go and sit down and have an actual break today. So there's not going to be anywhere really, which leaves me a little bit short on food. Yeah, but I'll manage.
No pub stop today, no birthday pint for James, no rest stop for Steve. What a letdown. Oh well. We carried on, noticing we had now been following trail markers for St Elred's Pilgrim's Way for a while. I made a mental note to look up that when I got back. Have any of you viewers tried that one before? Okay, we needed a backup plan. Steve was still really suffering, and we could see on the weather report the winds were going to pick back up again tonight. Really badly. Of course, some of these climbs were intense.
We're climbing up, but it's so slippery. We're literally taking steps up and sliding back down again. Oh, it's effort. It's taking a lot of effort.
We checked on the map and saw there was a campsite coming up. We agreed it was the safest place to stop today.
What a load of old shit. What did you do on your 40th? Stood on a big pile of poo.
We made our way to the campsite at Weathercote Farm. The owners were lovely and let us pitch for £10 each for the night. The wall would provide shelter from the strong winds and we could shower and charge our phones. Now I did say we could have a quick look at my new Flextail pump. I did a whole review video on their sleeping pad already, which I'll link above. This is my tent and this is the new Flextail Max Pump 3. Weighing in at 122 grams, the updated version delivers a much higher airflow of 500 litres per minute, which inflates my mattress in no time at all. The battery also lasts longer, which is really handy. It doubles as an LED lantern, offering 3 levels of brightness for up to 11 hours of light, and the handy carabiner makes it easy to clip onto the top of the tent. It's a fantastic product overall. I'll leave a link in the video description. Don't forget, I have a 15% discount code you can use for any Flextail product on their website, and that is Kerry15. Oh dear, here come the winds again! Good morning, campers! Up and out early after another interesting night's sleep.
Went down to -2 degrees in the night. Absolutely freezing. Still cold right now, 2 degrees I think max. I can't feel my feet, can't feel my fingertips, so excuse the lack of filming last night and this morning because it's just been too cold to get out the sleeping bag. But yeah, we're on our way now, trying to defrost. I'll show you what we're doing.
Since we didn't manage to cover much ground yesterday, today we had 12 miles back to the car and 500 metres of elevation to cover. This is before the long drive home. Unfortunately, Steve had to bow out due to his back. Luckily, Daz had kindly offered him a lift back to Usmotherly.
Now this is a view I remember from the Cleveland Way. Beautiful, look at that, very nice. We're heading down that away. We're going to go down and then we're going to start going across the moors soon. Mom, mom, mom! I have some good news. I can feel my feet again. Woohoo!
Today the wind had dropped. It was a perfect morning. It was so nice to be able to really soak up this scenery without being blown around. And as the sun started to come out, we finally began to defrost.
Okay, so we are currently walking through Boltby Moor, and it does not look like a moor to me. It looks like woodland. I was expecting, you know, heather, proper moorland, but no, it's a nice forestry path, and we're doing all right. Probably could have done this yesterday after all. Well, at least you know what to expect now.
Now this section was lovely. I'm probably biased because I just adore woodland. Or maybe it was due to the sun finally making an appearance. Either way, it had definitely lifted our spirits.
So we're the survivors so far out of the 5 of us. We're down to 3. Yeah, we've got 2.5 miles to get to the pub, praying this one's open. And then 7.5 miles to finish. Yeah, what a lovely, lovely day for it. Boom.
Okay, let's get a trot on. There's pints at the pub with our names on. And we were also now on the very last bits of food we had, and we're absolutely starving. We spent the next few miles fantasising over what pub meals we were going to order. Just a mile to go now. to get to the village of Nether Stilton and the Gold Cup Inn. Here we go, lads, here we go!
Been desperate to get to this pub to get some food, to have a nice cider, have a break. Once again, it's closed. Closed Mondays to Wednesdays. Defeated. We are defeated. Well, we had a little break in the beer garden, even though the pub wasn't open. Very disappointed. We've got just under 5 miles left to go to finish the trail. So we're just going to crack on, get it done. I mean, it's a beautiful day. We are enjoying it. We're just a bit knackered now. Could have done with a nice pint. We'll have one at the end.
And on we went. It was a shame, but we were still enjoying the sunshine. The trail had taken us through a stud farm, which was interesting, and then we had some more short, steep climbs.
Here we go, another climb, just for a change on this trail. And every time I put my arm up to hold the camera, I'm getting a whiff of Lynx Africa, because I've borrowed James's spray. I smell like a teenage boy. Just under 3 miles left to go to finish. Once we reach the top of this bit, it's predominantly downhill, which is a saving grace because I'm knackered. Absolutely knackered. Ran out of snacks a while ago. Running on empty, gagging for a pint and some decent food. So here we go, last little push to the finish now. What did you think to that climb, James?
That was a but we did it!
We did indeed.
A grueler.
A grueler.
We've got some epic hikes coming up this year, so this was great practice.
How many miles have we got left to go?
1.8.
1.8.
Bring it on.
Coming up in May, we're doing a weekender in the Lake District for my birthday and also the Afric Kintel Way in Scotland. So hit that subscribe button.
I'm now with Big James, entering Big Wood. Have you got Big Wood?
I've got big wood. I've got plenty of big wood.
There you go. He's also free and single and looking for love. FYI.
I just want to say a huge thanks to everyone watching. I really hope you've been inspired to give this trail a go. It's been quite the adventure and we've had some really beautiful scenery.
We were just saying today, so the last day of the trail, coming back into Osmotherley, it's definitely been the prettiest. It's had the nicest scenery, most varied terrain, some woodland, isn't it, Dom?
Yeah, except for the hills.
And some sunshine. Yeah, it's
Yes.
had the biggest hills though, so
Yeah, grueling.
steepest climbs. But we thoroughly enjoyed it. We're 1 mile away, still in Big Wood. We're just coming out the end of it now. It's been a pleasure. Get us to the pub.
Now if you're into wild camping, day hikes or long distance hiking trails, I've got loads of videos on my channel, Drunk on Wanderlust. Head on over and check it out. And if you found this video at all informative or entertaining, please give it a like, it'd be much appreciated.
Last little bit. Don't know how I feel. I've had a great time. Feeling slightly relieved though because I'm starving and very thirsty. But it's been great. It's been fun battling through Storm David. It's been fun catching up with these bunch of wrong-uns. And yeah, lovely little trail. Be a great trail if somebody was in training for like one of the bigger trails because of all the elevation and stuff that it's got. definitely. Really varied, really, really nice. Would recommend to a friend or subscriber. Well, we did it. We smashed it. There we are. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. We'll see you up in the Lake District for the next one. Great Gable.